Hi, welcome to She Spice. The new capture of Sha Diddy on government racketeering and sex dealing charges has reemerged consideration on his past, particularly his high-profile relationship with Jennifer Lopez. In the last part of the 1990s and early 2000s, as one of the most notable VIP couples of their time, their sentiment was intensely covered by the media anyway, as Diddy faces claims of that's what driving a criminal undertaking part in serious wrongdoings, including sex dealing, constrained work, and hindrance of equity. Questions are currently being raised about individuals who were close to him during those years. Among the most eminent is Jennifer Lopez, who dated Diddy during a wild period. Blemish marred by debate, Jlo at long last talks out about her relationship with Diddy, only one of those separations that truly you realize it resembled an extreme one for me. By kid to him, things were supposedly so terrible that Jlo had an apprehensive breakdown in the meeting. She said I would rather not move. I don't need to talk. I would rather do nothing. I had a mental meltdown. It's conjectured a portion of the film. Enough is propelled by her relationship with Diddy. What do you think? Diddy and Lopez started dating in 1999 when both were at the level of their popularity. Diddy is known as Puff Daddy was quite possibly one of the most fruitful makers and rappers in the music industry. Lopez, in the interim, was ascending as a worldwide star thanks to her jobs in Hollywood movies and her music profession together. They turned into a power couple, showing up at significant occasions like the MTV Video Music Grands and the 2000 Grammys. Their relationship was glitzy yet additionally loaded up with strain and show bits of hearsay. SWR about Diddy's way of life, including his extreme gatherings, which were said to draw in famous people, as well as medications and crime. So, with this entire Diddy circumstance, currently reports are emerging about the time he dated Jlo, otherwise known as Jennifer Lopez, and supposedly Will Smith and his significant other needed to have a trio with Jennifer. I don't even know. Here's the report. So while on the set of Jimmy Kimmel's show back in 2023, the host prodded Sha Diddy Coles to examine reports about Will Smith and Jada Smith and determined to fundamentally have a trio with Lopez. Kimmel asked, when you were dating Jada, Will Smith and Jada attempted to get her on a trio also. You plan to pummel Will Smith. Is that genuine? Did he say you? Truth be told, heard that nah. Then Kimmel conceded that he saw it on the web and kidded, you're letting me know. I can't trust all that I understand. H and Scene facetiously played along, expressing out loud, whatever, I don't have the foggiest idea what you're discussing. Fans remarked on the rage in his eyes. One more said abnormal things were happening in Hollywood. I wonder why, and essentially individuals are saying that despite the fact that they were kidding about it, rightly when Diddy was inquired about it, many individuals could tell that it infuriated him, like Kimmel was like, hello, Will Smith and Jade. I attempted to have a trio with your young lady, and afterward, purportedly, he just looked frantic. I don't know, so perhaps it's actual. I mean, Will Smith and Jada, they be on some freaky stuff, brother, like Jada Pinkett. That lady is humiliating, embarrassing, and talking down about her man day in and day out, like truly assuming we're discussing Jada. Now that lady humiliates Will day in and day out. No joke, except for I don't have a clue about whatever there's the report harmony out, notwithstanding this. The couple kept on showing up at the center of attention, apparently determined by the discussion that encompassed them, quite possibly of the most scandalous occurrences during Diddy and Jlo's relationship happened in December 1999, when the couple was associated with dance club shooting in New York City after a contention broke out between Diddy and another benefactor. Matthew Scar Allen shots were discharged, leaving 3 individuals harmed. Diddy, Lopez, and Diddy's guardian ran away from the area, yet were later captured by the police. Lopez was confined for 14 hours. However, she was never accused in association with the shooting. Diddy then again confronted a more serious investigation. A taken weapon was found in the vehicle they escaped in, and Diddy was blamed for lawfully having a gun. In the long run, he went to preliminary close by his protector and rapper Sparkle, who was additionally embroiled in the shooting. This is somebody who annihilated my life, previous rapper Moses Sparkle. Cart is standing up right after Sha Diddy's capture in government prosecution. Once Diddy's awful kid, Protag Moses, served almost 10 years in jail for a 1999 dance club shooting in New York where 3 individuals were harmed. Diddy joined in a party at the club with his then-sweetheart Jennifer Lopez and had, moreover, been captured and blamed for being engaged with the shooting anyway. During his preliminary, he said he shot the weapon in self-preservation and was cleared of all charges. Joe was additionally captured at the scene and held for around 14 hours, yet was delivered without being charged. Moses, who is currently the head of the resistance in the business place of agents, claims he accepted all negative consequences for Diddy and is presently considering his detainment, calling Diddy somebody who, quote, obliterated my life in a question and answer session the government official. Subtleties their past relationship. When I was an 18-year-old kid, simply needing to do nothing other than do right by my mom also. Do right by Bicey and do what all of us maintain that should do be. Perceived for our ability and assume control over the world. I was guarding him and he pivoted and called observers to affirm against me furthermore. He contributed, he essentially sent me to jail. Sparkle was indicted and condemned to 10 years in jail, while Diddy was cleared of all charges. That club shooting was a defining moment, however, in Diddy and Lopez's relationship. They stayed together for a brief time frame after the episode. The strain was apparent by 2001. The couple had separated ways, denoting the end of quite possibly one of the most exposed connections of the early 2000s. Jennifer Lopez and her group are presently on guard and having emergency talks in the midst of the Diddy outrage. Jennifer is supposed to be fully on guard since Diddy has been charged, as they believe that a past case that included her could resume, according to sources. Jennifer is weighing up breaking her quiet on her capture with Diddy in 1999 over an episode with 3 individuals outside the Times Square club where shots were terminated. Jennifer was cleared and delivered subsequent to burning through 14 hours in authority. However, fans suspect there is something else to the case than what was at first revealed at the time. One of the people in question stayed resolved that it was Diddy who pulled the trigger and thought that a man accepted all negative consequences for Diddy in light of his popularity during an attack claim in February. Rodney Jones guaranteed that Diddy was bragging on the night the episode that Jennifer had conveyed the weapon into the club so Diddy could carry out the wrongdoing. Fans are expecting the case to be viewed at in more detail as Diddy's preliminary proceeds and suspect that Jennifer might be hauled into it. Appears that Jennifer and her group feel something very similar way, with sources expressing that there were emergency talks this week about whether or not Jennifer ought to attempt to stretch out beyond the hypothesis by remarking on it, with Diddy currently having to deal with government penalties. Questions are being raised about whether high-profile superstars had any information on or contribution to his claimed crimes. Good, so large news out of New York, where P. Diddy has been held for over 7 days in the Metropolitan Detainment Place in Brooklyn. This comes after Diddy's capture last Monday, following his prosecution by a fabulous government jury on charges of racketeering, intrigue, sex dealing, forcibly misrepresentation or intimidation, and transportation to take part in prostitution. The 14-page prosecution spreads out some really amazing cases against Diddy, asserting he's at legitimate fault for sex dealing, constrained work. Seizing, torching pays off. Furthermore, impediment of equity. The prosecution proceeds to charge Diddy showed an example of misuse generally against ladies that included verbal, close-to-home physical and sexual maltreatment, including the utilization of broad prepping strategies. There's likewise notice of something alluded to as oddities, which are portrayed as intricate and deliberate sex exhibitions that brushes organized, coordinated, stroked off during, and frequently electronically recorded during these supposed freak-offs. Diddy would frequently drug his casualties, in some cases without their information, to keep them dutiful and agreeable. Then Diddy purportedly required these casualties to engage in sexual relations with whores, and as a rule, he recorded that too. Again, these accounts were made without the casualties' information or assent. These oddity-off meetings were worked with by Diddy's partners, and the arrangement alludes to the fact that as a component of the coming endeavor, these partners would acquire the sex laborers and book the in-rooms where these oddity-offs would take spots and stock the rooms with necessities like child oil and lube, as Diddy's ex, who was every now and again seen close by during their relationship. Lopez's association with Diddy has gone under re-established investigation even before she met Ben, and as per her 2024 narrative, the best romantic tale never told, a portion of those connections were out-and-out oppressive. there were individuals in my life who said I adored you, and afterward didn't do things that were sort of in accordance with the word love. A little later in the film, Lopez depicts a conversation in which a specialist inquired her what she'd do on the off chance that it was her little girl in a harmful relationship. She said that it would be not difficult to tell her girl to leave and never think back yet for. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.